And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we've got another music teacher reaction and analysis video for you. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the group entitled Pentatonix, and we're going to be looking at a unique song of theirs. This is what we would call a medley entitled Evolution of Music. Super excited to see what music they have in here and kind of how they progress from one type to the next during the timelines that we have here. With that being said, everybody, let's get into it.
Salve Regina. Bum 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 bum.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are
Yaddy yaddy yaddy. Odi 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 odi. Skilla di da di da do.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way.
Oh, I love
He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
All right, we're going to pause there real quick. I love that opening. I didn't think they were going to go that far back in time. I thought that we were going to start, maybe in the 1920s. I was expecting more like the 1930s, though. Start with the, more of the golden era of jazz and then continue from there. I didn't think we were going all the way back to Gregorian chant. That's pretty impressive, folks. I kind of want to rewind and recap just kind of what we saw here, just in case any of you are not familiar with everything that we're hearing here. So we had Gregorian chant to start with. That's the 11th century. That's the kind of the first ever melodic music, so to speak, that was ever written down. Certainly music existed before that in all sorts of parts of the world, but it was never written up until that point in Italy. Fun fact, that's why music is written in Italian. It's because Italy was the first place to write down music. We progress from that into the 1600s. We heard a little bit of Pachelbel canon, and then we get into Beethoven's Fifth Symphony in the 1800s. And then we get into some of the, like I said, kind of the golden era of jazz, so to speak, as we get from the 10s to 20s and the 30s. And we get a couple of different things there, the Bugle Boy, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. I'm going to start just at the 40s so that we don't have an awkward transition into the 50s. But I just thought that was a really cool beginning part. It wasn't what I expected. Like I said, I thought we were going to start right around the 30s, the golden era of jazz, and go from there. In fact, actually, let's go ahead and do that. We'll start right after Beethoven's Fifth and go right at the 1910s. And go right here.
Yaddy yaddy yaddy. Odi 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 odi. Skilla di da di da do.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He's in the army now.
Love the bass line.
He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Una boca de gracia. When the light was gold and the lamp was died, oh stand, oh stand. Ba 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 ba.
I love that. I love that. So we're going to pause again right there real quick. So I didn't expect them to do this, folks. Not only did they transition musically speaking through the eras, but they're doing it visually as well. So if you didn't catch that, in the 1960s, that's when color TV first started coming out. So prior to that, when we're in the 1950s, and then as we transition out of the 60s, towards the end of the 60s, they transition into color. That is so well done. Again, I just want to point out a couple of the groups that we heard there. By the way, we had Oh Danny Boy, a Irish folk song back in the 1910s. I forgot to mention that one earlier as well. But we had Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, followed by Walk the Line. What else did we have through here? La Bamba, some other really cool, just great 1950s, traditional upbeat what we consider kind of like a pop song back then, the early stages of rock and roll, so to speak. But we're going to start right at the 1950s, folks, and transition into the 60s again, just because I loved that color transition they did there. It was so well done. That was really cool.
Una boca de gracia. When the light was gold and the lamp was died, oh stand, oh stand, ba 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 ba.
That's so cool.
I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your R-E-S-V-C-T. I wanna meet you, me.
The Queen. Jackson 5, yeah.
Do, re, mi, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me. No, 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 no. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me, for me, for me.
So I'm going to pause right there. Obviously, that was Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm sure everyone and their uncle knows what that one was. But we just did a reaction to their arrangement of Bohemian Rhapsody. And I'm wondering right now, for those of you that are familiar, I can't remember because there tends to be a month-long wait between Pentatonix songs, unfortunately, because of stuff. We'll leave it at that. But I can't remember off the top of my head the exact way that they arranged this section of that song, and I'm really intrigued, and I would love to go back. I'm going to go back and check it out off video. But those of you that are really, really familiar with this and follow them, you pentaholics out there, let me know, is this the same writing, the same arrangement in this version as what we hear in their full-fledged Bohemian Rhapsody version, or is it a little bit different? I feel like this is different. I feel like this is simpler than what we heard in the full-scale version, but I could be wrong on that. Like I said, let me know in the comments, folks, if you are sure of what it is exactly. We're going to go right here and continue through.
1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me. No, 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 no. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me, for me, for me. Celebrate good times, come on.
Celebration, celebration.
Oh, don't stop, believe it, 'cause this is Thriller, Thriller night.
Oh, MC Hammer.
Baby, one more time. Say my name, when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. Running game. Oh, I want.
Can we just pause for a second and appreciate what Kevin is doing through this? Like, holy cow. I knew that he's a phenomenal beatboxer, but what I think he especially excels at is mimicking the synthesized sounds that are out there in particular. He's great with acoustic stuff, but man, the synthesized sound effects that he's able to make as a beatboxer are really, really impressive. And I think he really shines here as we transition from the 80s, where we have less of the synthesized stuff, a little bit more on the acoustic side here, especially with the songs they chose here in the 80s. And then we get really into the synthesized stuff in the 90s. It's where he really shines, in my opinion.
Hey, a Thriller night. Can't touch this.
So he's still doing acoustic stuff right now.
Baby, one more time. Say my name, when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. Running game.
All of that. It's amazing.
That way.
Hey, I don't want to meet your daddy.
Ooh.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Another Queen.
I Ooh la la, I got a feeling, ooh, that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, 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 good,
baby,
All right, we're gonna pause real quick. So, one, the ability to arrange just this and the transitions themselves are really impressive, first and foremost. But when you're doing such a drastically changing medley like this, it's hard to have musical moments happen. It's just change after change after change after change, and it's more that you're like, oh yeah, I know this song. Oh, that's cool how they did that. There's not really like a musical like, oh wow, that was amazing, because just every snippet is too short to really build development, so to speak, through the music. But what they did right here, folks, was really well done. And part of it is the choice of the music they're transitioning from and then into. But to take this fast moving song and then suddenly have it slow down to this nice, comfortable, just relaxing pace. It's just such it's what I would call a cathartic moment in the music. It's just great writing to have that here at this point. Again, I just want to go back a little bit and point that out for you guys. It's so well done. It's so well done.
Now you're just somebody that call me maybe.
Like, just it's so well done. Like I said, you go from this fast to this nice, relaxed, cathartic moment in the music. Even though the second song that comes after it is still very, very fast paced, it fits into this kind of halftime feel in the music and really just gives the song this sense of resolution. That's very, very difficult to do in something like this, where you're doing such a heavy splicing of songs. Just really, really great arranging from them, great singing from them. Performances are amazing as always. It's kind of nice to do a little throwback to them when one of their earlier performances they did as a group. Really cool to see what they were like back in the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you guys gave a like down below. If you want to continue your journey down the rabbit hole that is Pentatonix, make sure you guys check out the next video that we've got coming up. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any other videos coming out. All right, everybody. Catch you next time.